he said this is here in another one where we're still working on properties of circle. Remember that at the beginning we mentioned that properties of circle is one of the biggest chapter in the book, and there are so many of them. So you always have to do your best to remember those properties and do those practice and do the drill to make the grades. So today we're going to look at properties of circle where you have two chords that intersect inside of a circle. And remember that when we're doing a circle and when two lines intersect, so there's a statement that says if two lines intersect a circle, there are three places where the two lines can intersect, either on the circle, in the circle, or outside of the circle. So those are the three scenarios. So when you have two lines intersect a circle, so the two lines can either intersect on the circle, in the circle, or outside of the circle. But in this property, we're going to look where we have two chords that intersect inside of the circle, then you will see what happens. So the theorem says that if two chords intersect in the interior of a circle, then the measure of each angle is 1/2 the sum of the measures of the arc intersected by the angle and its vertical angle. So they're telling you that when you have two chords that intersect inside in the interior angle, so you're going to take 1/2 of the measures of the intercepted arc and its vertical angle. So remember that vertical angle is when we have two segments or two lines that intersect from an X format, and opposite angle will be congruent, and linear pair will be formed. Linear pair will be supplementary. So remember those terms from prior knowledge. So let's recap. Let's see if I can break this down for you. In this case, we have angle 1 and angle 2. We have chord BD and we have chord AC. Remember that when you have a chord line on the circle, so the 2 points where must stays on the circle. So we have chord BD and chord AC. They intersect in the middle of the circle. In this case, if I'm looking for angle 1, from prior knowledge, you have to know that measure of angle 1 plus measure of angle 2 will be equal to 180. Those will be linear pair. And if I insert angle 3 and angle 4, and you will know that angle 1 and angle 3 are vertical. Vertical angle are congruent from prior knowledge. So remember that. If I know any one of those angles, I should be able to know the others. So that's the reason we mentioned that. So angle 1 is congruent to angle 3 by vertical. Angle 2 is congruent to angle 4 by vertical. However, angle 2 plus angle 1 is a supplementary. 2 plus 3 are supplementary. 4 plus 3 are supplementary. 4 plus 1. That's we have done that before. But we're not focused on that. We focus on the intercepted arc. So this telling me if I want to find angle 2, let's say I want to find angle 2, says that in order to find measure of angle 2, I have to take 1/2 the sum of the intercepted arc that formed by that angle. This is this angle here, angle 2. The intercepted arc is BC. So I'll take 1/2 of BC, right, plus arc of AD, measure of arc AD. Then that will give me measure of angle 2. So this is that's what the theorem I'm telling you. And if I know angle 2, I know angle 4. Same thing if I need to find angle 1 or angle 3, I will have to do angle 1 is equal to 1/2 the measure of the arc of this arc. In this case, this arc will be arc CD. So I will take arc CD, measure of arc CD, plus the measure of arc AB. That will give me my angle that I'm looking for. And like I said it earlier, if I know angle 1, I will know angle 2 because they are linear pair. If I know angle 1, automatically I will know angle 3 because they are vertical. If I know angle 3, I know angle 1. I will know angle 4 from 4 analysis. So this is what this is telling you. Example, let's say arc AB is 25 degrees. You will see, and arc CD is 75 degrees. In this case, I can find measure of angle 1, which we have here. See, the only thing I have to do, come here and reset my equation. The equation already set for me. The only thing I have to do is filling in. Then I will have measure of angle 1 is equal 1/2. The measure of arc CD, this is CD, CD is 75 degrees. Plus the measure of arc AB, AB is 25 degrees. Then I use my order of operation. So I will go inside the parentheses and I will take measure of angle 1 is equal 1/2. 75 plus 25 is 100. Now when I take 1/2 of 100, then measure of angle 1 will be 50 degrees. Since I know the measure of angle 1, then I will be able to find the other angle. See, in this case I find measure of angle 1. If measure of angle 1 is 50, this telling me I will know measure of angle 3 because they are congruent. This will be 50. And those from linear pair, this will be 130, and this will be 130. So those, we have done that before. So in this case, all of those 4 angles, if you add them, it will give you a 360 degrees. So that's the objective of this lesson. So we have some problem, so a couple example, then we will have to do practice. Practice will make better. In this case, I have here, I need to find angle 1. If I know angle 1, I will know angle 2. So in this case, I will say measure of angle 1. In this case, measure of angle 1 is equal to 1/2. Whatever measure of CD, arc CD is, will be 55 plus 65. That will give me measure of this arc. In this case, I will end up measure of angle 1 is equal to 1/2. I will take 55 plus 65. That will give me 120. Then once I take 1/2 of 120, then I will have measure of angle 1, which is 60 degrees. Now, since I know measure of angle 1 is 60 degrees, and this angle is supplementary to that, then I will take 60 subtract from 180. This will give me 120 degrees. In this case, measure of angle 2 will be 120 degrees. So those are the same concept. This is one of the easiest things in this chapter. Right now we can go and do the other problem. In this case, I have this problem here. This angle 1, I need to find this angle 1. If I know angle 1, then I can find angle 2. So this angle 1 will be vertical to that. So whatever angle 1 is, this will be that. So the arc that form with those angles, since they intersect inside, I will take the sum of them and take 1/2 of it. In this case, I will have measure of angle 1 is equal 1/2. This arc, which is 95, I will have 95, plus the arc, the intercepted arc is 130. Then that will give me the value of measure 1. Once I find measure of angle 1, I will be able to find measure of angle 2 because they are supplementary, they are linear pair. This, I will take 130 plus 95. This will give you 5. This will give you 12. And this will give you 2. That will give you 225. And when you take half of 125, then that will give you what measure of angle 1 is. Half, that will give you 1. That will give you 1. And that will give you 112.5. This is how you solve this problem. As you can see, those things getting easier and easier. So this section is not that difficult. So as long that you follow those guidelines, you will find that is when those two angles intersect inside. So when they intersect inside, you take this sum of the measure of the arcs that form that angle that are vertical to them. Same thing here, I need to find measure of angle 1. This is the angle I'm looking for. And the arc that is vertical to them, those are those two arcs. So I'm going to take those two arcs, and this is an easy outcome. Those two numbers are the same. I will have measure of angle 1 is equal to 1/2. This arc here, that form with angle 1 is 88. And the other arc that is vertical to that is the other 88. And you don't even need to that 88 plus 88, whatever it is, you take half, you divide by 2, I'm still going to give you 88. So in this case, the answer will be 88 degrees. Now if I want to find if this angle is 88, this angle is 88, alright, then this seems to be a central angle because this is equal to that, and this will be 92, and this will be 92, of course, yes, those are diagonal. This add up to 180, and this add up with 180. This is not the magic. Therefore, those were semicircle, those were diagonal. So this is what the lesson is about. If you have two chords that intersect inside the circle, so you know what will happen. You take this sum of the measure of the arcs and you take half of it, that will give you the angle. Since the two angles that is going to form 4 pair of angles, then you will have to use concept of linear and vertical to find the other missing part. So this is, that wasn't a brief one, so we're going to come back and extend it to this lesson. So that was not difficult at all. This is again come back, continuing our lesson. And remember we said earlier, and when we are dealing with circles in property of circle, there are 3 places where two lines can intersect in a circle. Either the line intersects on the circle and inside of the circle, or outside of the circle. And we're going to look where we have the theorem saying that if a tangent and a secant, or two tangent or two secant intersect in the exterior of a circle, then the measures of the angle formed is 1/2 the difference of the measures of the intercepted arc. So let's break it down. Now in this case, they're telling you we have a circumscribed angle where the two tangent, a secant or a tangent, or the two secant intersect in the exterior of the angle. They're telling you to find measure of angle A. In this case, you will say that measure of angle A will always equal to 1/2 the difference of the intercepted arc. So the difference of the intercepted arc, this is the arc that is formed by that particular angle. That particular angle, this is the angle. Let's trace it. Alright. Angle A, which is represented by 72. The difference of the intercepted arc. The first arc that is formed by that angle is this arc here, which is DC. So we're going to take the measure of DC, whatever it is, DC, minus the measure of the other intercepted arc, which is BD. So that will be the measure of BD. Then that will give you your answer here. So this is the formula. In this case, you will have that measure of angle A. In this case, we know what measure of angle A is. In this case, we're going to replace measure of angle A. Measure of angle A in this case is 72, is equal to 1/2 the difference means subtraction. The measure of arc DC. The measure of arc DC is this, 200. You'll have 200 minus arc BD. In this case, arc BD is X. So that is your equation. Now, in order to solve for that equation, we have 72 equal 1 half, open parenthesis, 200 minus x. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. Then I can cancel my 1 half, which is my denominator. These two will cancel with that. Then I will multiply this by, that's going to give me 144. Now the only thing I have is a 1. I can distribute the 1. Anything times by 1 is itself. So I will have 200 minus x. Now I can solve for x. So the only thing I have to do is subtract. I rather add x on each side because I want my variable to be positive. Alright, that's going to be easier. Then I will end up with that. Then I can simplify that. The x will cancel each other here. And in this case, we continue. You will have x plus 144 is equal to 200. Now I can find the value of x. Then I can subtract 144 from each side. Then I will have what x should be equal in this case. You borrow 1, that is from 10, that will give you 6. You bring the 1, that will be 5. From the 10 is 6. In this case, x will be 56 degrees. So that's what this is telling you. This arc will be 56 degrees. That's what we were looking for. So this is one of the solutions. Now we have another example. Now, this is your circumscribed angle, angle B. Right? This is the angle. In this case, we have 210 here. This is the angle. And the two arcs that is formed by that angle are the following one. PQR is the first arc. And the other arc is PR. That will give you the entire circle. Remember, the entire circle is 360. So if this is 92, then I can find what PQR is. So I will take 360 minus 92 will give me what this arc is. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take 360 and I'm subtract 92 from it. That will give me the leftover. That will give me 8. Bring down 1. That will give me 10 from 16. That will give you 6. That will give you 268 degrees. Therefore, this arc, major arc PQR, is 268 degrees. So we know this now is 268 degrees. Now I can set up my problem. Now in order to find angle B, so measure of angle B will equal 1/2 of the difference of those two arcs. Those two arcs was major PQR minus arc PR. This is my module equation. Now the only thing I have to do is substitute my information, then I will be able to solve for that. Math is kind of cooking. If you have your recipe, you just follow the recipe. So in this case, angle B is x. I'm going to replace x for angle B. This is the angle I'm looking for. Is equal to 1/2. Alright. The difference, alright, whatever PQR is, PQR we found out it was 268. Difference means subtract. It will subtract 92 from that. Then that will tell you what x is. Now you will have x equal 1/2. Now we have 268. We're going to minus 92 from it. That will give you 6. 9 from 16 is 7. I'll give you 176. Now you take half of 176. You take 176, you divide by 2, you ask yourself how many times there's 2 goes to 17 is 8 times. 8 times 2 is 16. You subtract 16 from 17, you bring down 1. You ask yourself how many times there's 2 goes to 16 is 2 times. 2 times 8 is 16, and you subtract from that. In this case, x is 88 degrees. Then we know the unknown part. X is 88 degrees. So that's what we were looking for. Alright? Next example, which is way further here. Now, we are looking for this angle here, angle C. And this is the angle that is formed. We need to find the two intercepted arcs. Your goal is to identify the two intercepted arcs. And you're going to find the difference. The two intercepted arcs is arc XY, this arc, and arc WZ. So I identify my thing. In this case, in order to find measure of angle 3 is equal to 1/2 the difference of those two intercepted arcs. Those two intercepted arcs will be 80 minus 35. And you will be in base. Then you will find measure of angle 3 is equal to 1/2. Now you subtract 35 from 80. That should be a piece of cake, but I'm not sure. I'm going to check it out. That's only 45. That's 10. That's 45. And you take 1/2 of 45. And you will find measure of angle B is 2 and 1/2. So you can change that as measure of angle C or measure of angle 3. Measure of angle 3 is 22.5 if you want to change it to decimal, but both of them are the same. So this is the lesson. So we're going to do a couple more practice, then we can call a quit on that. Alright, we said this is back. So we're going to use the same property we have been using, where you have either you have a secant or two secant, or a secant or a tangent or double tangent, where you have a circumscribed angle, an angle that is outside. In this, if I want to find the measure of angle B, you know what you have to do. You need to find the circumscribed angle. You need to find the two intercepted arc that is formed by that angle. Since the intercept outside, you find the difference of the intercepted arc. In this case, in order to find measure of angle B, I will have measure of angle B is equal to 1/2 the difference of the intercepted arc. So this arc, one of the arc of the intercepted arc that is formed by this angle is arc DR. So I will take measure of DR. Then I'm going to subtract it by this arc, which is arc AR. So that will give me my outcome, what I'm looking for. So that's what the theorem says. Now, I have set my equation. The only thing I have to do is to fill in the blank. In this case, I will have measure of angle B is equal to 1/2. So I'm going to substitute what DR is. In this case, DR is 120. I will have 120, and I'm going to subtract 60 from that. This will tell me exactly the value of measure of angle B. So in this case, I will have measure of angle B is equal to 1/2. So when I find the difference between 120 and 60 is 60, then the only thing I have to do is to take half of 60. In this case, half of 60 is 30. So measure of angle B will be 30 degrees. So you're done with this problem. So we have find angle B that we are looking for. We have a similar problem, the same thing. The only difference that you have plenty of variable. So this is the angle, the circumscribed angle, and we need to identify the arcs, the two arcs that form the two intercepted arcs that form with that angle. This is one of them. In this case, the expression that is given to you is A plus 70, and the other one is A plus 30, and the angle is A over 2/2 B. So we need to find what this is. So we're going to set this problem up so we can solve it out. The process is the same, it's just filling the blank. Just try to understand the concept. Once you get the concept, then you will be able to go home free. So I'm looking for measure of angle B. In this case, measure of angle B is that. Measure of angle B is equal to 1/2 the difference of the two intercepted arcs. The larger arc is A plus 70 minus the other arc, which is A plus 30. So be aware you do that. Otherwise, you will have problem with other operations. So in this case, we know angle B is A over 2. So you will put A over 2 is equal to 1/2 A plus 70. Do this with that will be minus A, that will be minus 30. So make sure you do that. In this case, we will have A over 2 is equal to 1/2. This A, positive A minus A cancel each other out. Now you end up with 70 minus 30, that will give you 40. In this case, you will have A over 2, and half of 40 is 20. Now you need to find A, you multiply both sides by 2. This cancel out, then in this case, A is 40 degrees, then you find that baby, then you're done. This is telling you this is 40 degrees. When A is 40, this will be 70. 30 plus 40 is 70. Alright, that will give you 110. So we find those arcs. So there go a big one. So that's ready for this big one. Let's clean some of the mess. Math can be fun if you practice it, if you apply it the way the theorem was meant to be. Alright, we have a couple, so we can call it a quick. Take good notes and observe those theorems. So this is my second subangle. I'm looking for measure of angle 1. So measure of angle 1 is equal to 1/2. And I need to find the difference of the intercepted arc. So those are the arc that is formed. This is one of the arcs. So now I don't know this, then I need to find that. So remember the entire circle is 360. So I will have 360 minus 235. I need to find this part so I can be in business. This will give me 5 when 1. That will give you 4 from 6 is 2. And that will give you 125. The missing arc is 125. So I have all of the missing information that I need. So that will be the difference between those two arcs. The first big arc is 235. I will have 235 minus 125. Then this will give me measure of angle 1. Then I will have measure of angle 1 is equal 1/2. Now I will have 235 minus 125 from that. 235 minus 125. This will be 0. This will be 1. This will be 1. That will give me 110. Then I'm going to take 1/2 of 110, which is really a piece of cake. 1/2 of 110 is 55 degrees. It's telling me this angle, circumscribed angle will be 55 degrees. So remember, we always keep the best for last. So we're going to do the last one. So we are looking for angle A. which is the circumscribed angle, you will have measure of angle A is equal to 1/2 the difference of the intercepted arc. So let's see what the arc is. So in this case, this is the circumscribed angle. So you have to learn to trace. This is the angle. We're going to find the two intercepted arc. So the big intercepted arc is this one, BCD. So that will be measure of BCD, measure of BCD, right, minus measure of BD. So BD is missing. We need to find that. How will you find BD? In order to find BD, the entire circle is 360. So this part is 255. From it there is 255. So this is 255. Then we need to find that. Therefore, the entire thing is 360. We're going to subtract from 360 so we can find the leftover. From 10, that will give you 3. That will give you 135. This will be 135 degrees. So make sure that the calculation is correct. Alright. So if I have 225 plus 135, yes, indeed it is correct. So now we can set the equation. So they give you what measure of angle A is. We're going to replace that. That will be 15A. So we're going to substitute 15A. A is equal to 1/2. Just do the math and everything will be taken care of. So this arc is 255. We'll have 255 minus 135. Minus 135. Then you follow order of operation. You bring your 15A is equal to 1/2. Then you do 255 from 135. 255. Subtract 135 from that. This will give you 0. 3 from 5 is 2. This is 120. So you end up with 120. So what is half of 120 is 60. Then you will have 15A is equal to 60. Now a piece of cake, and you divide both sides by 15. In this case, A is 4 degrees. Then we have done what we were achieved to do. That was Mr. Deceased in property of circle. Study, knock out, and get it out of the ballpark. Stop complaining. Do the work so you can make the grade. It will be work out if you invest the time.